Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past League playoffs. We're in the Open League playoffs. We're week one of those, and today we've got a match for you between Zelda and Chill and Elf of Emerith and Locke are facing off in game two of their series with Zelda and Chill up 1-0 in the series. I'm JP, and I'm joined by Danny Music. How you doing?
Hello, JP. I'm doing very well. Looking forward to seeing if Zelda and Chill will be able to lock this one down, or if Locke, true to his name, will have it under lock and key.
Speaking of key, we have cross keys.
Yeah, so to explain a little bit about what cross keys is, it is a combination of crossed entrance randomizer as well as key sanity. So we're going to be going all over Hyrule. Pretty much none of the locations in the overworld will correspond to their vanilla locations, and keys will be shuffled outside of their vanilla dungeons. At least sometimes, anyway.
Yeah, sometimes is a good way to put it. Yes, they will have to find, as usual, they'll have to get these 7 crystals to defeat Ganon. One little caveat here is this is technically a fast Ganon seed, meaning they do not need to complete Ganon's tower to finish the seed, unless Ganon is at his vanilla location.
Mm-hmm. And one other thing to note, this is a match between the wisdom pendants of each team. The courage match has already been completed, and Zelda and Chill was able to take that one when Darity defeated Eudaimonistic. And with that, the runners are off. We see both of them are going to start in Link's house. Just grab a rupee.
Link's house is one of the only entrances that'll be in its vanilla spots. At least that's what we can expect.
Alright, so both runners are doing the play that you would see in most open modes, grabbing the sign, checking the tree pole, and going up to the well here. There are a couple of various openers. I personally prefer the Sanctuary start. There are some runners that do the Chris Houlihan early just to get money for the rest of the seed. But we see from this that the Hyrule Castle dropdown is just a rupee, and we can write that one off, basically.
Ooh, mini Moldorm Cave, but they have no weapon. They have to come back.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that is one of the potential advantages of doing the Houlihan strat or some other way of getting money. You'll have money for bombs, and then eventually you're going to run across a bomb shop and be able to pick them up. Knowing that Mini Moldorm is there will give them incentive to do this early. And we see that the Sanctuary is in the ideal Houlihan spot itself.
Yep. They could have dropped down to trigger the Houlihan trick, but they decided not to, and with no bombs, they can't do the backup escape either. Well, our third drop down we're going to see is the Lost Woods. And that has bombs that we will never be getting.
Yep. So that is our 2 one-off drop-downs.
Now, the next drop down we'll see is one that's going to be big because it's Lumberjack. If there's something big at Lumberjack, then these runners are going to have to find those Aga Tower keys.
Mm-hmm. They will also need to find the boots and the lamp and at least one sword in order to beat Aghanim himself.
They technically don't need the lamp, but they'll want the lamp.
Logic will want the lamp.
We'll get a quick peek in the Lumberjack hut first for the Arrow game, which actually they have the rupees to play, and yeah, Locke's gonna play it and get some rupees.
Yep, speaking of arrows, just arrows from the Hoarder Crab.
And Amrit's gonna join as well.
Yeah, I like how both of them think for a moment. It's like, yeah, actually, yeah, getting money right now, that sounds pretty good.
Yep. Alright, here's our check, and... Oh! That's a required Lumberjack. That is Ganon.
Yep, so we are going to need to beat Aga 1 before challenging Ganon himself. Slight difference from the regular open game, where you have to beat Aga 2 instead.
Locke finds 20 rupees in the Bombable Hut.
Yep, both runners following each other pretty closely right now. Get our first key. Thieves Town Small.
That is a logically required small key. By finding Ganon, now Locke can safely jump down here. And that's 4 chests with a mirror. Can't get the 5th without some bombs. There's a big key to Maya and a book. That was a nice well, but he's gonna have to leave the one item behind the bomb wall there.
Yeah. In the meantime, Amarth has found bombs. I'm not sure how she did that.
Yeah, I don't know if she picked those up either. Oh, Loxton will give us a pet check right away.
Ah, it was the pickle enemy. Okay, well, we'll see if there's something important in that bomb wall here. Magic cape, that could be important. We know that there is a connector that one of the ways requires the cape, the other way could be the cape or could require the hookshot to go through.
Yep. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. You want to lock check the pedestal, but just some couch cash. So no agate today, or no agate, no pet today.
Yep. Ooh, and there's a 4-pack of bombs from the tree pull. Not sure what tier that was, but that's a very nice pickup for Amarth.
Locke's gonna check in the well. That is the magic bat drop down. I believe the only 2 we have not seen at this point are the uncle and the fairy. Actually, we haven't seen Lumberjack either. No, we did see Lumberjack. Never mind. Oh, speaking of that cave, there was that cave. Locke's taking the connector.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like to. I like going through connectors here. It's kind of nice to get a lay of the land. You got to be a bit careful going through this one. Those mini mold arms hurt, and you only have 3 hearts.
He's gonna blow his blue potion.
Yeah, I can't say I blame him.
And that's Saha's hut. And meanwhile, we see Eastern Palace.
Yeah, Martha's gonna do Eastern Palace. So there are 4 chests in Eastern Palace that are obtainable, 3 in Logic, though with only 3 hearts and no sword or other way to see through the dark rooms, you gotta kind of have to be careful going for that 4th one.
We got another big key to Eastern.
Whoa! That is a very interesting find.
Alright. That's an extra check. If a boat shows up, okay.
In the meantime, Locke finds Super Bunny Cave, grabs a bottle and a piece of heart. The bottle just has a bee, but that'll be nice for if Sick Kid shows up anytime soon.
We did have a bottle, though.
Amarth finds a bug net. Hey, that's something to use with that bottle that Locke has.
Hey, we can find a floating island, which Locke can mirror, and find $20. But that's a nice set of connectors to get you up Death Mountain. With that mirror, that's a lot of Death Mountain access.
It'll be interesting to see what Locke does here, but that's a very nice connector to find. So Locke is now setting up to use the Super Bunny glitch. If you are to enter a doorway on the same frame that you use the mirror, then you can take certain actions as a bunny, one of which is opening chests.
Locke found Paradox Cave. He wanted to check it, but he has no weapon again, so he can't.
Yeah, Locke is definitely wanting to grab some bombs.
Another big key. This one to Ganon's Tower. Don't know if we need that one, though.
Alright, Amarth doing this dark room. This is one that you do often, but without any way of seeing where you are, it can still be a bit scary.
Looks like Amarth is doing well. Hey, Ganon's Tower.
Ooh.
And Amarth gets through, but down to half a heart, she's gonna have to either grab a couple hearts in this neck. Actually, she's probably gonna have to kill the enemies at this point. Because I don't think she can damage boost.
There are 2 hearts in the pots, which is exactly enough, but I don't blame Amarth for playing it safe and trying to kill the enemy with bombs. Amarth also does have the cape, but without any magic to use the cape, it's a bit unfortunate.
Now, Locke finds a small key to Turtle Rock in GT, but without any real items yet, can't do much. We see Pod's crystal, just a regular blue crystal. There's the dam, that's a good find for Locke. Another big key to Swamp.
Yeah, so both runners have some advantages pretty early now. Amarth does a very nice job getting through that room, taking advantage of the enemies respawning. Just a big 20, but that's one thing that you don't have to do later. In the meantime, yeah, the lack of bombs for Locke is definitely starting to pay its toll here. Amarth finds Spike Cave, doesn't go for it just yet.
I think that was actually Spiral.
Or Spiral Cave, my bad.
Or Locke finds Desert.
Yep, so Desert main entrance is at the bottom of the right side of Death Mountain.
Got a King's Tomb, check.
Just a red rupee. Yeah, Locke has to be a bit careful. These Tektites and these Dead Rocks are one-hit KO mode.
I actually did lie about one thing. There is a second vanilla entrance, and this is it.
That is true. This is the only entrance that you come in through the back. So as a result, it doesn't get randomized.
Now, the thing about Desert is it's also a connector, so Locke's gonna check one of these other exits to see where it takes him.
Mm-hmm. Nothing too much in Desert other than the blue mail that is on the torch. Won't be able to get that without the boots, though. In the meantime, Amarth is finishing up Kakariko. We're going to see one of the other drop-downs.
It's either Uncle or the Fairy. And it's the Fairy.
Useless Fairy.
So the Uncle is at the Ganon hole.
Mm-hmm. Vanilla Ice Rod Cave for an item. And that is a Turtle Rock Small. That is absolutely not nothing. In the meantime, we see another bottle, which Locke grabs from the atop Spectacle Rock. Don't need the Ether Tablet today.
Locke's got 3 bottles, but he doesn't have a potion shop to fill them at.
Alright, it's dark in here. This is probably our old man cave?
Yeah, most likely. But there's no real way for Locke to navigate that right now. And Locke has had no bomb luck, but we find the back of Skull Woods at the Spike Cave entrance. And there's a weapon.
Oh.
But you can't get to it yet.
Yeah, we're gonna need to find a way into the Dark World for this one, but since the runners already have the mirror, that's very good knowledge for Amarth. We'll probably want to go through some connectors soon in order to try to find a way to get that.
Yeah, if you can find a way to Dark World, even in bunny form, you would definitely want to go for that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Locke has found bombs.
Yeah, so
Coming
here we
up the
see Amarth. Amarth checking the connectors right away. This is the same one that Locke found. Locke did not have bombs to be able to bomb jump across that gap. Let's see if Amarth does. And yeah, she is setting it up. So we're going to see where the top of Spectacle Rock Cave will lead.
This is out of logic.
Oh, and we get locked out.
That doesn't really matter.
Well, that is one more glove check that Amarth will not have to check later.
Ooh, there is Turtle Rock.
Mm-hmm. Turtle Rock, another connector, of course. Locke, without any weapons, says, I don't want to find that. Yeah, Amarth takes a death. It's really not the most costly death in the world, because there isn't too much in the Ice Rod Cave area that you can do right now, anyhow.
There's a laser bridge.
Turtle Rock showing up big right now. So we get another key to Turtle Rock. That's the second between the two runners.
You know, get our back of escape check, and there was nothing really there.
Third between the two runners.
Locke doing some nice. Never mind. I was gonna say he was doing nice dodging.
Yeah, especially on such low health. Alright, good job getting in. And here we're going to see Mini Moldworm Cave from Amarth. Both runners knew about this very early, but Amarth definitely finds it worth some bombs to do it. In the meantime, Locke has nearly run out of bombs again, just one left.
There's a
Amarth
10-pack.
got a bomb refill right away.
There's a Mimic Cave, but can't do anything in there without that hammer.
Yep, unfortunately not able to do that one.
Going through another connector. Now, this is kind of how cross key seeds tend to go. Early game is just a lot of information collection. You're generally not making a lot of progression. You're just getting information. You're trying to figure out where things are, what you can do, and just go from there.
Yep, once you start to figure out a lay of the land for this seed, where all the connectors are, what's the fastest way to get to important places like Kakariko or the Village of Outcasts area, things like that. Then you can start piecing together a potential route that'll get you the things that you want on your way. Amarth, having already scouted to find that hammer, is going to know a place that she wants to get back there pretty soon. But in the meantime, here's Thief's Town.
There's a lamp.
Or
That's
the
very
lamp.
nice.
So we did see a couple dark connectors early, and that lamp puts those in logic.
You have the small key to Thieves' Town, but without the big key, I'm not going to be able to do much. And we do know it's a pendant from that P in the corner. There's a waterfall fairy. And a flute. That is very nice for movement.
Yeah, early flute is a very good find for Locke.
I think that was a big key in the Lake Hylia Island. Yes, it was.
Also good to know, we'll need a bunch of things to be able to get that, but we do have the mirror for it already. In the meantime, Amarth finds Mario. Hello, Mario.
Was it Amarth or Locke who found the dam?
I think it was Locke.
Okay. For me, I thought it was Amarth because I thought it was strange that the dam wasn't drained. But Locke didn't head down to the dam, so we can't tell on his side what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, chat confirms it was Locke that found it. Okay. But I think he forgot that he found it because he didn't go check what item was there.
Yeah, there's a free item there, but you can pick it up once you activate the flute. Just go to 7.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, you can go activate that flute.
Let's see if Locke also scouts the hammer. If he does, this would be the time to do it. Locke very happy to get those bombs, though.
Yeah. Oh, we have not seen Desert yet, and this entrance is in logic with that book.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Marth will get caught here if this isn't a connector of some sort.
Alright, Locke does make the scout, does get that information about the hammer, and we see Sick Kid.
Sick Kid in a nice little house, a nice palace with a moon pearl.
Sick Kid with the moon pearl. Oh man. That is a very big advantage for Amarth. It could be a long time before Locke decides to head out that way. Granted, though, Locke does have the flute, so the desert area is much more accessible to him. He also knows that there's an item for free just sitting there in the dam, so that might encourage him to go back to the south area of the Light World sooner rather than later. And there, Marth also finds that flute.
I'm starting to see some backtracking for each runner, going over the other spots. Amarth with the lamp can take this connector.
Yep, Locke was up on Death Mountain, but I don't believe we actually saw him save the old man. But we'll get to see where each side of the old man warp is. When you save the old man from Death Mountain, then you have access to the place that Amarth just walked through as a warp point, and it turns out that the back of Old Man Cave is, the Old Man Rescue Cave.
Yeah. We do believe that the, Old Man Rescue Cave is up at Hera. Well, Locke did find that, but did not have a way to navigate the dark room at the time. And unfortunately, it looks like the old man starting spots won't be the most advantageous.
Nah, not this time around, especially since both runners have the flute and can just flute to 1.
And so far, it looks like Amarth's checks are coming up a little bit nicer. She's got a few more items than Locke does.
I think that Moon Pearl find is potentially a very big advantage for Amarth. With so much available in the world, it might be a while before Locke decides to follow the book and check out that location. Especially if you end up finding a way to the Dark Overworld and then you end up bunny walking a bunch of different places. But we'll see. The other advantage is that Amarth has that magic cape from the well, which was located in the Lost Woods, and Locke has not gone back to check that with a bomb yet. So we are going to see the old man rescue from Amarith.
And one thing worth remembering here, too, is that with the hammer basically locked behind the Dark World, unless we can find a connector that takes us to race left, you're probably going to have to find a connector that gets you to that area to be able to get that hammer. Unless we can find both gloves, also.
Mm-hmm.
Now Locke has found a connection to the Dark World. He did come up with the Dark Potion Shop, but unfortunately from there you can't really get over to that hammer spot. You'll need something else.
Mm-hmm. And to answer a question in chat, Lumberjacks is required this seed because Ganon is located in Lumberjack log.
Yeah.
So we'll be needing 2 Castle Tower keys. We're going to need to find those boots in order to beat the pig this time around.
And that can be a bit annoying because those Castle Tower keys can basically be anywhere, including one of them being in Castle Tower. Actually, both of them could technically be in Castle Tower.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Locke going back and is going to pick up that magic cape now. We'll see if he decides to follow that right away and go through Bumper Cave.
Okay, interesting decision there. I think maybe that was just some safety, just to make sure she doesn't waste a key, but... Yeah, I think she was trying to be safe and make sure she had to use the key to get to Trinex and then find another key immediately.
Yeah, Turtle Rock keys are showing up in abundance this seed. So could be an indication that something important is in Turtle Rock. We already found the left entrance and didn't really
There's
have
our
many
connector
items.
to get over to that hammer.
And yeah, was that the Bumper Cave that Locke had found?
No, that was the through the CAC restock room to get to the Forgotten Shop.
Ah, okay. Alright, so Locke is going to do a bit of exploring and pick up that hammer. And there's the right entrance of Turtle Rock. Alright, Locke on one-hit KO mode, gonna have to be a bit careful going through here. In the meantime, Amarth is continuing to explore Death Mountain and check the places that Locke has already seen, basically.
And Locke is booking it towards that hammer.
Yep, you don't want to be without that for long.
There's Hyrule Castle entrance, the left one.
Mm-hmm. Since both runners have found the Hyrule Castle small key, and Amarth already has the lamp, we could end up seeing some pretty nice things in Hyrule Castle. We know that all of Hyrule Castle is in logic, though Locke doesn't know the lamp yet.
Locke gets that hammer. That is a nice weapon advantage for Locke right now.
Mm-hmm. Such a tease, the left entrance of Desert Palace there. You found your way to Village of Outcasts, but you absolutely can't get your hammer from that entrance. Nothing in the Cave 45 entrance for Locke.
Yeah, bunny exploration can be required occasionally in cross-key seeds because you can check some spots as a bunny, but we do know it's not really required in this one because we know where the moon pearl is.
Mm-hmm. All right, Locke going through Hyrule Castle now. I like this play a lot. Well, that might have been an intentional death just to get some hearts back.
No, that was an intentional death because he was in bunny form. He has to take a death so he can come in here in non-bunny form.
Ah, right.
Yeah, quick answer, quick question in chat. This is not in logic. You don't have to die in a dungeon. You never have to die in a dungeon to get further into it. That's not in the logic, but you can do it. That is allowed within the game.
Mm-hmm. The other thing is, with it being Hyrule Castle, one of the entrances was in the Dark World, but the other two could very easily be in the Light World. And as long as there's a Light World entrance, then it could be expected that you go enter Hyrule Castle through the Dark World, come out in the Light World, and then come back inside. So what Locke is doing now might not even be out of logic, even if the Moon Pearl wasn't already found.
That is true. Amarith's going to show us the Dark Cross chest. Fortunately, she still does not have that hammer, so she's got to use bombs, and bombing a rat can be pretty difficult, but she gets it.
Yep. Gotta have respect for Keyrat, the final boss of Hyrule Castle.
And just a map to swamp at the bottom of Hyrule Castle. Locke's going to check the other two entrances.
Yep. Amarth also finds a map to Ice Palace, which isn't nothing. Maps are information, and information can help you figure out the seed and tell you what dungeons you do or do not want to prioritize.
Locke finds Dark World Warp 5, gonna mirror and check this entrance. So it's kind of isolated, so good time to check it, but just to shop. Not gonna check the right entrance, gonna do some more bunny exploration.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this isn't too bad for Locke yet because Amarith really hasn't used that Moon Pearl yet. So this isn't a lot of wasted time for Locke yet, but the longer it takes him to find the Moon Pearl, the worse it could be for him.
Mm-hmm. The good news is that Locke does have the mirror, which makes Super Bunny Glitch possible, so if you do happen to find some one-off locations, then there's a chance that you'll be able to get the items anyway.
One thing he could go check right now, which would be interesting, is as we find Meyer's Shed. He can go check the pyramid, get an item off there, and check two. Oh, he has a cape. He can check all three entrances.
Yep, he does have the cape now.
Well, we're going to see that bumper cave connector we've known for a bit.
Ooh,
that's a nice
that's
connector.
Meyer Shed. Alright, so this gets a couple entrances in the Dark World as well as a couple in the Light World. I believe that was the Bombos Medallion for Meyer Shed this time. Marth deciding to pocket a fairy. Yeah, where are the hearts in this game? We've been on 3 hearts for half an hour now. Both runners, too. Oh, it's Quake Medallion.
Here's a C-shaped house. Another key to Ganon's Tower.
Alright, so Locke, what are we gonna find? We found fairies. We find a shop.
There's the top of
Amarth.
Old Man.
Yep,
Oh,
Amarth
okay,
finds
there's
the top
another
of Old Man.
paradox.
Yeah, Paradox Cave. So we know where the bottom entrance of Paradox Cave was. Locke had found that earlier, but wasn't able to check it without bombs, even though he had the mirror. Let's see what Paradox Cave is hiding.
Amarth about to get a bit disappointed with no glove. Unfortunately, nothing really in the mire area, so still kind of looking for something here. Hey, there's just a map in the well, or in the flooded area.
All right. Paradox Cave comes up empty for Locke.
I'm not just going back to the mid entrance. Not gonna go check the top. Oh, he hasn't done Mini Moldarm Cave yet, so this is a good play. Unfortunately, he won't get anything out of it.
Yeah, we'll see if he ends up doing the top afterward. So what's nice about cross keys, you can go to a major area of the overworld and then find a new connector that'll lead you to another major area to explore. Amarth does a nice job dodging that Octorok there. With the statue in hot pursuit. And yeah, it looks like that's exactly what Locke's going to do. Gonna head right back up and check Paradox Top.
We also haven't seen many dungeons yet. We've seen a few, but we're still missing, I think, more than half our dungeons.
Mm-hmm. Also, let it be known that Locke has finally gotten a 4th heart container thanks to those finds in Mini Moldrum Cave. And we see that the top of Paradox Cave is Waterfall Cave.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was stuck there and had to float away. Get in front of that heresy crystal.
Yep.
Locke heading west. If he goes to the desert main entrance, he'll get his moon pearl.
This is the time. In the meantime, Amarth still hasn't found a connector that gets her on the path of that hammer that she knows is waiting for her on Race Game. I also missed the Turtle Rock entrance medallion.
I think the connector we found was the CAC restock room to the Forgotten Shop. Yep, and Locke's gonna get his moon pearl.
All right. So, this about equalizes the early item advantage that Amarth had. Amarth does still have the lamp, which Locke hasn't found yet because he hasn't found Thieves Town in the Mini Moldrum Cave entrance yet, I believe.
Looks like we did find some info on Desert at one point. Desert Dependence. That's 2 of our 3 pendants known.
Yeah, and the last one is the green pendant, so as soon as we find Sahasrara, then we'll get the information about that.
Locke checking the Hookshot Cave connector. Can't get any items in here because no hookshot, but he can go through the connector.
Hey!
Oh, that's a nice connector, actually.
Dark World Shopping Mall.
But
Unfortunately, it's
unfortunately,
the bad entrance to Ice Rod Cave.
nothing there, and he can't lift the rock, so he can't check the other entrance. I think Locke might have got scared by the crabs. Now that they both have their Moon Pearl, the question is what the path is, what we're gonna find that really opens stuff up. We haven't been through Spiral Cave yet, and that's where Locke's going right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like going through Spiral Cave here. Places you know are items. I like the Skull Woods area for that. Going through connectors, especially with the mirror, can be very valuable because if you happen to find the wall connector that is the vanilla right entrance to Turtle Rock, then you can check that, check Mimic Cave. But Locke finds the hook shot.
That's
another
a nice find.
That's another item that helps a lot for mobility. And now we can full clear Hookshot Cave once, and we know where that is. Speaking of Hookshot Cave, Amarth is about to go through.
Yeah, that might be a good spot for Locke to go to now is Hookshot Cave, because that's 4 items. And that's exactly where he's going, right back there.
Yep, I like this a lot. So the advantage that Locke now has is that hookshot from going through Spiral Cave, and the advantage Amarth has is the lamp from doing Thief's Town early. We'll see if Hookshot Cave pays off. Big key to Turtle Rock? I think that pays off.
Yep.
We have 3 Turtle Rock keys known already, and we also know where the right entrance is, and with the hookshot, we'd be able to actually get that chest in logic.
Unfortunately, we still need 2 rods and a Samaria to fully clear that.
Mm-hmm. But we also know where the left entrance is, so that gets us the lava chest technically out of logic, gets us chain chomp chest, and gets us Crystal Roller Room still in logic.
Looking through our dungeons right now, there's still nothing we can really clear for a dungeon just yet. I guess if Locke finds Hera, he could beat that. That's about it. I was going back through Super Bunny Cave. I believe this took us to Floating Island.
Mm-hmm. I thought... Yeah, I'm not sure what Locke wants in this area.
You know what Locke can do? He can do a lot of GT. He's heading that
That's
way.
true. Hookshot plus hammer does unlock a lot of GT.
Yeah, GT's at Super Bunny bottom.
Yep, all of left side. Locke only has 1 GT small, but that is not going to stop him.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. There's a lot of items in here. This is a really good idea.
Yeah. In the meantime, Amarth does have the GT Big, which Locke does not have. So whenever she gets that hook shot and whenever she finds a way to get that hammer, she'll be able to get the big chest of Ganon's Tower, which Locke is not able to do. However, Locke finds the big key to Palace of Darkness and the Ice Rod waiting in the Dark Magician room.
Yes, the GT Big Key was, I believe, in the Eastern Palace Big Chest, and the Eastern Palace Big Key is in Eastern Palace. So Locke may not head there, though. Well, it might take Locke a while to go there, even if he gets a bow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, runners have interesting... It can always be a dilemma about whether or not you do the Eastern Palace dive when you're not able to complete it. Just because it's such a linear dungeon that if you end up having to double dip it, then you lose a lot of time if it turns out that that was unnecessary. So, having the knowledge that Amarth does now could be pretty valuable later on in the run. But in the meantime, we see Amarth also going through Super Bunny Cave and checking out the right area.
Here's our first Castle Tower Small, and the Swamp
There's
Small,
the
which
Swamp
is pretty
Small.
important. Marth's going to find GT in just a second here, but she's not going to be able to do much. Despite having more keys, she does not have any of the items to get further into the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Locke is down to 4 checks at this point, assuming he can get past Ice Armos. Which he should be able to, but it may not be a pleasant fight.
Yeah, this is a rough one. Because we still don't have a sword.
Yeah, something in the Bob chest would be very beneficial to Locke right now.
There's a Bombos medallion.
Nice, but that's not gonna help.
Alright, good luck, Locke.
Hammer Armos, this... Yikes. I mean, Locke's doing a good job keeping them, like, frozen, basically, by knocking one of them out of place.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm not sure what's in Locke's bottles, but they might come into play as well.
I don't think he's got any restorative items.
Well, good luck, Locke. In the meantime, Amarth finds a Fairy Ascension connector, which leads to the Dark World Witch's Hut. I think... Yep, we're going to check the Light World Witch's Hut here, I believe. Oh, I guess we did that already.
Right now, Amarth needs to find 2 locations to really kind of progress. She needs to go back to Spiral Cave that's in Kakariko to get her hook shot, and she also needs to go through the Kak Restock connector. That'll take her to the Forgotten Shop that'll let her get a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Locke's got to be careful. Down to 1 heart. He's doing this slowly and methodically.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. This is a extremely difficult fight. So to make it this far is awesome.
He does have... Oh, I'll say he has Ice Rod. But he might want to save that for the last of the Armos. But I guess he's not listening to that idea. Oh, Chet says he's got a green potion. He's being very methodical.
Alright, 1 left.
You're switching to that ice rod. And that is
Nicely
well
done.
planned.
That is an incredible fight from Locke. Very difficult. We got a map check on Amarth's side. Thief's Town is a pendant, and there is a red crystal in in Skullwoods. But as a reward for doing that incredible swordless Ice Armos fight, Locke gets his first sword.
49 minutes. We have a sword. And, oh, that was not a good spot to warp into. Thank the invisibility frames there. Invincibility frames, not invisibility frames. Yeah, Locke is pulling ahead in this race. But Amarth's gonna give us some new checks in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, Marth doesn't have the big key yet, but we'll at least be able to get these two here. This upcoming fight against the Pokey, especially on low health, this is also not an easy one, though.
We got a hype cave. Oh, we have both Castle Tower.
Second Castle Tower key.
Oh! Oh, that hurts.
Hmm.
And she had just used her fairy, reviving from the Pokey.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if you enter that door at the wrong angle, you'll get clipped by that beam. And green mail, that's 4 hearts, that's death.
Yeah, so Amarth deciding that I don't need the key from the Pokey, I'm just gonna walk on by it. I have enough Turtle Rock keys already. And I like this decision a lot. She has already actually used one of her keys specifically to open the door to the boss to make sure that she wouldn't lose track of that.
Playing it very safe that time. That's a fine use of cave because she'll get a full magic refill after this.
300 rupees. Locke, also in Turtle Rock, doesn't open the big chest. You have the big key?
He forgot he has the big key.
Maybe he'll get it. Maybe he'll get it if he mirrors back and wants to do Crystal Roller Room.
Yeah, it's an easy mirror back, so it's not a big deal just yet.
Alright, nothing in the chomp chests for Amarth, unfortunately, but Locke about to get that news as well. Alright, Amarth is in Kakariko.
Is she gonna go to Spiral Cave? Yes, she is.
Alright, so this is gonna get Amarth the hook shot. And I don't recall offhand where the exit to Spiral Cave was.
It's a TR laser bridge.
Ah.
But this is good because she does know a connector to the Dark World to get her to at least the... Actually, she knows the connector to get her to the Dark Potion Shop, which can get her to the hammer. So this will get her back on track. And, oh, Locke did not check the big chest.
Yeah, he mustn't have registered to Locke that he has that Turtle Rock big key. We'll see if that ends up coming to play later on in the seed.
Sometimes you just forget you get these keys. You just get too attached into the seed and you forget what you already got.
This is a very complicated mode. There's a lot to keep track of with entrances and places where items could be and the actual items and the keys. So it's
I think
intense.
the fact that he didn't check Crystal Roller either, I think just means that he doesn't think he has the big key to Turtle Rock.
Right. So speaking of the big key to Turtle Rock, hey, Amarth just found that in Hookshot Cave.
Well, Locke is exploring Skullwoods. Skullwoods entrances are all in their vanilla area, not necessarily in the vanilla locations. Except for the boss, which can be randomized pretty much anywhere. But we've already seen the boss.
Alright, Amarth doing a bit of a think where to go.
Here's one of the few vanilla keys that you'll find in cross keys. Oh, this is good. She's going to the restock connector. This will take her to close to getting that hammer. Yeah, I think Locke just is not aware of that Turtle Rock Big.
Okay, so we're seeing a full heart on the Bumper Cave ledge on Locke's side.
There's Swamp, but no flippers, so you can't do anything. We get some info. Eastern and Skullwoods are red crystals.
Yep. So we're gonna be needing a bow to finish off Eastern Palace at some point, which we would have needed anyway to finish off Palace of Darkness, which we know is a crystal. Yeah, Marth, despite being in the Dark World, not beelining it right for the hammer, going to opt to check out some of these other areas in the North Dark World instead, maybe saving a bit of time so that she doesn't have to go there later. But Amarth finds Tower of Hera and does have the hookshot already, so...
But she doesn't have sword or hammer, so she can't beat this.
Right. Yep, and she also can't beat Skullwoods for the same reason, not having a sword. Oh, she could Herapod anyway just to get the big chest, or to get the compass chest, but decides it's not worth it. In the meantime, Locke also finds Tower of Hera, and I imagine Locke is going to Herapod and beat the dungeon.
Yep, he's setting up for the Hera pot. Green mail, he can only try this one more time. You got it.
Alright. So Amarth and Locke basically doing a bit of a flip-flop here. Locke finds a pod small key. That is not nothing. Especially because Locke already has the pod big key from Ganon's Tower.
Even pod small keys will let you do quite a bit in pod. Well, actually, oh yeah. Yeah, you can do quite a bit in pod.
Mm-hmm. You can, with 2 small keys, you can go all the way to the back, and you can do the hammer jump chests. The back of pod doesn't become in logic until you have 4 pod smalls, and the hammer jump chests in pod aren't in logic until you find all 6 pod smalls. But you can check them with just 2 keys. Heck, you could check them with just 1 key if you go through Bowlock's side, but neither runner, of course, has a bow yet.
There are ways around that. Locke takes down Moldorm, we'll get 20 rupees and a crystal.
Yep. And that is the first crystal from either runner. So Locke with a slight edge for now. We'll see where he wants to go next. Still a lot of major progression items that we're missing. Definitely like to find that fire rod sooner than later. Really would like to find a glove to finish off those entrances, and we'll also need gloves for Ice Palace.
Yeah, Glove would give him access to some more entrances. Boost would give him access to some entrances. Locks finds my area. He's gonna find the nothing that was here.
Yep. Wouldn't say no to finding another sword either.
And it's like these runners are backtracking over each other's steps. Let's just remind everyone to give these runners a follow if you like what they're doing today. You know, they're always streaming on their own channels, so make sure to follow them. And also thank you to our trackers, Toffel and Artero, who are keeping track of this mess as we go.
Yep, these runners are working hard to bring a very close and competitive race for us. This is the first week of the playoffs. Everyone worked very hard in order to get here, and a lot of excellent talent on display.
So, what is our next good move at this point? We still have some entrances to check. Like dungeon-wise, there's not a lot we can do.
Yeah, it's difficult just because we haven't found that many dungeons yet. We have the bombos. Locke has the bombos for Ice Palace, although we don't have the Ice Palace big key. I think finding Pod would be a pretty big advantage. Amarth checks the big chest for Turtle Rock. Just bombs, so that won't really burn her. But in the meantime, Locke finds a sword. That was from Checkerboard Cave, which is situated in the Lake Hylia Island entrance. That we can't get to without the flippers, in logic anyway.
I should find Thieves Town in just a second. He'll get that lamp, and that would give him an option to go for Skullwoods.
That's true. Okay, Amarth finds another pod small in Crystal Roller Room. This is another check that Locke could have got but passed up earlier.
Yeah.
And like I said, the pod smalls aren't nothing, but it's not as significant of an advantage as it could have been.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice to have, but as long as Locke's not stupid with his keys, he can get through there with as few as 4 keys.
Yep, and I like this. Amarth is checking all the locations in Village of Outcasts that she can before picking up that hammer. This is different from Locke's approach, which was to get that hammer right away. In cross keys and entrance, you can often find connectors and other things that would end up sidetracking you, so I appreciate the validity of both approaches. That's also true. Locke did not have Moon Pearl at the time.
Like Locke is heading back to the Dark World. Since they do not have a glove yet, neither runner can still use the normal portals. They have to use connectors to get to Dark World for now.
Mm-hmm. Marth finds Hyrule Castle, decides to... pulls a hold that thought game. Gonna get that hammer first. Yeah, we're still looking for a lot of dungeons. We need pod, back of desert. Swamp Palace hasn't been found yet, I don't believe.
Yep, swamp. No, swamp's been found. It was the Dark Lumberjack.
Oh, okay.
We haven't seen Aga Tower.
Yep,
We
haven't seen
Ice.
Mire.
Haven't
Haven't seen
Ice.
Ice.
We're also looking for TR Front. Oh, Locktuck of Death. So one thing to remember with cross keys is those rats. If you enter this dungeon from the light world, they still only do the normal half hearts. But if you enter the dungeon from the dark worlds, they do 2 hearts of damage.
Yes, the rats become effectively the little beetles that you see in Thieves Town.
Exactly.
So we see both runners in Hyrule Castle at the same time. Amarth is going to head over to Zelda's cell, which I don't believe we found anything on the way to Zelda's cell other than the map of Swamp Palace, I believe.
Yeah, there wasn't anything really down here.
Yep. And Amarth has already checked Dark Cross Room, which
is another
she
map.
did from the Sanctuary area.
Looks like we saw Ice Palace as a crystal too, which we do have in our trackers. Looks like the only dungeons we're not really sure about yet are Turtle Rock, Mire, and Swamp. One of them has to be a pendant. The other 2 are crystals.
Yeah. We haven't even found Sahasrara yet to tell us which one's the green pendant. It's not too often that the green pendant is the last pendant that you get the information about.
I think since we have 2 trackers, our trackers are keeping track of what each runner knows for dungeons.
Alright, so Marth heading out of Hyrule Castle and is going to elect to go through these connectors. In the meantime, Locke is, well, finding Sahasrara.
Oh, there's our last pendant.
Alright, so Turtle Rock is the last pendant. Which is a little bit unfortunate because we did happen to find 3 of the 4 Turtle Rock Smalls, as well as the Ice Rod already. So we're gonna have to find a lot of dungeons in order to complete this game.
Great seeing some new entrances here. We haven't seen this one yet. No, that's the other side of it. Oh,
Hey,
there's Mire.
there's Misery Mire.
I think we're gonna have to call off that prediction. Sorry. I'll just end the predictions right there. I don't have to actually call them off. I can end the predictions that second, so.
In the meantime, Locke finds Pod. Pod was found at the Lake Hylia area, but in the Dark World, that one isolated house. So the neighborhood outside Link's house proving pretty useful. Also, there was a bow in Shooter Room in Pod. So Locke's going to be able to do a lot here. He doesn't know it yet, but if he enters Eastern when he finds it, he can beat Eastern.
He knows where Eastern is. He just hasn't done any exploring. As he finds Quake, which will get us another entrance.
Nice job with the cape strats. Going through that room for Amarith.
Now, the question for Locke is he going to use the bow side over and over to save a key, or is he going to just use his keys normally? Oh, we got a big key to Hera, which Locke's already cleared.
Yeah. Amarith hadn't made her way back to Hera yet. So, if Amarith finds Pod before going back to Hera, that could be a potential advantage for her.
Unfortunately, Amarith does not have Samaria, so she will not be able to clear this. So she does have the big key, so you can get everything but one chest. And yeah, Locke's gonna save the key and just keep going to this side.
Ooh, very close shave on that fireball on Amarith's side. We get our first small key to Ice Palace.
Locke is gonna rush Helma.
Okay. Well, you know it's a crystal, you have to do it anyway regardless, and...
I mean,
yeah. It makes sense.
I mean, it's... Well, I guess, yeah. I mean, you're essentially choosing what item you want with that second key. So, Locke's just choosing the Helma item.
Alright, Amarith finds the big key to Ice Palace in the big chest of Misery Mire. There's another pod key.
I think we've seen 4 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And there's the Fire Rod.
Okay, now we've got a logically clearable... Well, we know where the items are to clear Skull, but neither runner has everything to do it in logic yet.
Yep, technically you need the 3 Skullwood Smalls before Mothula becomes in logic, but that's not going to stop our runners. Speaking of Skullwoods, there's a big key. So that is another reason to go through the Skullwoods area. With the Fire Rod, you can also get whatever entrance has replaced the back of Skullwoods. So, all in all, a very solid haul from Amarith in Misery Mire, and we see Locke making his way on the Helm of Sore fight now. Gotta be very careful with only 2 hearts remaining. I don't believe Locke has any more safety items.
He's got half magic and a cape. That's more than enough.
Alright, nice job. Cape is a good safety item to have. It's not a bottle, but that'll very much do.
Helma's just got the compass to Thieves Town, but that is Locke's second crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that book's not needed for tablets.
Yep. That arrow is going to stay lonely forever.
Locke going back in. He's gonna use that second key and head to the back of Pod, which will get him another 5 chests.
Yeah. So this is a lot of going through the Bolok side of Pod for Locke. Amarith is most likely going to find Pod right now, and with the additional small keys that she has, maybe Sahasrara first. She might be able to route Pod a bit more efficiently than Locke did, but either way, both runners will be able to clear the boss and get that crystal.
Yeah, well, Tracker says she only has 2 keys. I feel like she's got at least 3. Oh, she's not gonna hit that.
Oh,
break.
not going to pod.
Alright. 6 more items in the back here for Locke.
Amara didn't go through here because she went through the Hyrule Castle connector.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, there's Blue Mail. Turns out we didn't need the Torch of Desert for Blue Mail after all. Just chilling in the pod basement.
Right. Next up, Locke's gonna set up for his Hammer Yump.
Ooh.
Okay.
Big key to Desert Palace, locked behind the big key and all 6 pod small keys. And the lamp, I guess.
Okay, now Amarth's gonna find Pod.
Alright, Amarth has 3 small keys for pod. We'll see how she decides to route this one.
So at this point, if Locke were to go into Eastern, he could full clear it. Amarth will be able to full clear Eastern as well once she finishes, when she leaves this dungeon.
Yep, and Amarth will know that as well. She still might opt to push Eastern off for a little bit longer. It's a pretty time-consuming thing for just one more item, even though you'd also get a crystal. You know that boots are going to be required in this seed because you need the boots in order to go challenge Ganon. So I wouldn't be surprised if Amarth waits on Eastern Palace until finding boots.
And looking through our other crystals, we need flippers before we can do anything in Swamp. Actually, Amarth hasn't found the Swamp Small. That was a while ago. I can't even remember where that was now.
That was among the very large treasure trove that was in Ganon's Tower.
I guess.
Oh, speaking of which, one of the other things that was in Ganon's Tower was the Pod Big Key, which Amarth doesn't have currently.
Oh, well, oh yeah, she can't finish this.
Right, but that also means that she won't be able to get the big key to Desert Palace, which was in the Pod Big Chest.
Well, considering that one's behind 6 Pod Smalls, that's probably not as big of an issue right now, because... Especially since there's a pendant. So as long as there's nothing in the Desert Big Chest or on Landmo, which isn't even in logic anyway until you get the Desert Small. But that Hera Big will send her back to Hera, most likely.
Yep, and then she'll be able to get an item in Hera that Locke was not able to get on his clear there.
Yeah, Locke's exploring Meyer. The Fire Rod was in here, so Locke will get that.
So once again, we saw both runners. We saw it with Skullwoods and Tower of Hera, and we're seeing it again with Palace of Darkness and Misery Mire, that both runners effectively trading places and covering each other's ground to find progression items in their respective dungeons.
So let's see the extra item Amarth gets. A key to Desert. Okay.
That is also not nothing. So Locke
actually...
has the big key to Desert, and Amarth has the small key to Desert.
That's funny. So each of them can effectively get two items the other can't if they decide to go to the desert.
Yep. And both the Desert Small and the Desert Big were behind 6 Palace of Darkness keys, because that Hellway one is also behind 6.
That's true.
In the meantime, we're getting a couple signals for Ice Palace from Misery Mire. Not that we've been able to find Ice Palace yet, and even if we did find Ice Palace, we still can't clear it because we don't have a glove. Alright, Amarth has 1 small key left. Alright, I think Amarth is opting not to open up the front door, and will check the vanilla big key chest instead. So this was another one that we did not see from Locke, and another one that is locked behind 6 pod smalls. But the difference is that Locke does have that crystal already from beating the boss. And that is true, there is the potential to save scum this key if Amarth decides to just hard reset if she doesn't like what she finds.
So what's
All right.
Locke gonna do?
Locke is going to flute away without checking the ether tablet. So no single arrow for Locke.
This might be Skullwoods.
Yeah. And Amarth did not save scum that key. Amarth is doing the drop down instead, going to save that key in case she's not able to find another one to beat the boss. So one chest in pod will be a mystery for right now. But Amarth will be back at some point.
Oh no, we're gonna see Mimic Cave. We still might see Skullwoods as well. I think Marth's gonna check the... she just has not seen the pyramid item yet? I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
Another location... Actually, never mind. We can't even get there. I was gonna say Catfish is pending, but we can't get there yet.
Yep,
I guess Zora's
We'll
technically pending too, but no way to get there
we'll
either.
need a glove for Catfish, yeah. I think one thing that Amarth can do that we did not see from Locke, because Locke was a bunny at the time, is check the entrance to Pod. Locke, in the meantime, is going to take on Skullwoods, and that makes a lot of sense. Follow that fire rod that you just found in Misery Mire.
Now, another thing to keep in mind is that with what we know, well, actually, never. Technically, it's not yet. I was going to say the Big Bomb entrance at the pyramid is in logic, but technically not without all 3 Skullwood Smalls. But
True.
we do have the ability to clear both Eastern and Skull.
Yep, and we also do know already from Amarth's side where the Big Bomb is.
That is at the Dark Chapel. Yeah, Marth's gonna give us new entrance. This one's a bit isolated for Locke at this point.
Yeah. We'll see. If this one is Ice Palace, that would probably be a very unfortunate sign for Amarth, not having that glove. Alright, I didn't commentator's curse it. Good. They say that no news is good news, but no news is in fact no news. It might be a long time before Locke decides to go there. But Amarth, in the meantime, is going to take Super Bunny Cave again. This will put her in the neighborhood of Ganon's Tower. So If she decides to go in Ganon's Tower and do the left side, she'll be able to open the Ganon's Tower big chest, which Locke was not able to do, and then she will be caught up on the items that Locke got there, including the Pod Big and the Ice Rod and the Swamp Small, I believe.
Well, I think Locke's just, yeah, he's gonna save the old man. Locke, actually, never mind. We don't have Samara yet, so Locke can't go back to GT to do right side yet.
Oh yeah, and a sword.
Now, Amarth could do the GT climb, that is true. And this is a sticky point on runners, because some runners will do that climb with 2-3 keys, some will swear not to do it until they get 4.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Amarth is fluting away from the area, not gonna do GT just yet, unfortunately. She is going to beat Eastern. Okay, well, this will give Amarth a crystal, catching up a little bit on Locke. Only downside is, of course, Eastern can be a pretty slow dungeon if you have to walk through it.
Oh, is Locke gonna explore Eastern? He is.
Okay. Nope.
No, he's not.
Locke changing his mind. Interesting. Alright, looks like he was looking for the connector to get to Village of Outcasts.
I think this is towards Floating Island. No, this is Village of Outcasts, yeah. Always funny looking at the teammates in chat to see them how they react to the different things that their teammates do in the race.
Okay, Locke is going to be following up on the Skullwoods Big and the Fire Rod that were found once again in Misery Mire. We'll be able to check an item as well as an entrance in the back.
Right, big chest just has a compass.
Not the reward we wanted. Alright. So the question is, what is the next progression item we're going to find? I'm thinking it's going to be Red Cane. I think that we haven't seen enough out of Turtle Rock that justifies us having 3 small keys plus the big key in Logic so early.
Possibility. There's a lot that would do stuff. Like Red Cane would definitely do it. Flippers, boots, glove. All those items would do something.
Oh, that is absolutely atrocious for Locke. Going all the way to the back of Skullwoods in order to find a shovel that can't be obtained yet. That is quite unfortunate. We'll see where he decides to go next. In the meantime, Amarth is climbing the mountain again.
I think this is a plane to desert. She got that small.
Yeah.
So this is safe to check the right side because she doesn't have the big key anyway, so.
Yep, this is one that Locke won't be able to do yet for a while. Let's see if it pays off. Get a full heart container. And a glove.
Wow. That glove's behind 6 pod smalls.
Yup. So that is a very big advantage for Amarth.
I'm thinking there's another glove that's not behind 6 pod smalls at this point. Locke's gonna check the big chest of Hera, though.
Yeah. I think right now we have seen the locations of 4 pod smalls. I think that there was one in Ganon's I'm not sure offhand. I know for sure at least 3 because Amarth had 3 when entering there. So we might not actually be that far away from 6 pod smalls.
That'll give Amarth access to some entrances that Locke does not have access to right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be a very big advantage for Amarth. We'll see. Locke, in the meantime, following up with the big key of Tower of Hera to get the one check that we know from Amarth's side doesn't have anything important in the big chess. I think both runners right now are feeling a bit of the question mark about what exists, what can I do, what have I not done. In Amarth's case, the big glaring thing that she has not done is the left side of Ganon's tower. So that's probably not on her mind right now. We'll see if she decides to... We'll see if she remembers it and decides to follow up with it soon. Maybe getting that small key will be a reminder.
That's the 4th GT small. Now you have to think about the climb.
Oh, you're right. That is the 4th GT small.
And remember, Uncle is at the Ganon hole. That's 2 extra items, so that's a 6-item climb.
Alright, instead we're going through Fairy Ascension Cave again.
Locke's setting up a fake flipper. Gonna go check Hobo, which we have seen on Amarth's side.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Wonder what big key that could be.
You're right. We're down to just 1. That's gotta be Thieves Town.
Thieves Town. Yep, it has to be the Thieves Town big key. Alright, guess that answers that question. The runners don't necessarily know that yet.
Yeah, Locke's big hang up, I think you said this, is that he's gotta go into Eastern. And that'll get him to Eastern big.
Yeah, okay, so Amarth comes out of the Fairy Ascension Cave in the Dark World Witch's Hut. Doesn't check Catfish yet, even though for her she would be able to do that. But I think Amarth is going to take this time now to follow up with Tower of Hera.
I think we might get a Zora check from Locke. Did Amarth check? I don't think Amarth checked Zora. Locke, I think you've seen this entrance.
Yeah, I think this is just to set up the water walk.
Fair point. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we saw the Zora item yet. I don't think Amarth bought it. There was a dungeons tutor as a reminder. We're still looking for Ice Palace. We're still looking for Castle Tower, which we absolutely need.
Yep. Still looking for boots. That'd be a nice thing to turn up. Is that on the GT climb? Okay, there was the pod key that Locke had that Amarth didn't, so we are indeed 4 pod keys in.
I think Locke really needs to go to Eastern, because that'll get not only the Eastern big, but it'll also get him the GT big.
Mm-hmm.
He's going back to 3. Will he actually make the dip this time? I think he is.
Yep, this is it. Okay. So this will put Locke on his way. We'll be able to complete this dungeon, get a crystal, and get that GT big key. We'll see how early... If the GT big key makes Locke think about the climb? He doesn't know the fourth big key from Spike Cave. Amarth is also... Oh no, Amarth does have all 4 GT smalls, so Amarth knows that the climb is in logic. Amarth doesn't have a sword, though. That would be a...
Yeah, we saw one at Checkerboard. I don't remember where the Checkerboard Cave was, but I know one was behind, one was behind Ice Armos.
Yeah, you will need a sword in order to beat Aga 2 in order to get that uncle.
That's right, Lake Hylia Island had
Yep.
the Checkerboard.
Which is out of logic because we don't currently have the flippers. The only in-logic sword is the one that Locke currently has after a very well-earned fight, swordless, against Ice Armos.
So we're gonna see a couple rocks lifted by Amarth here.
Yep, I like this. Follow up on the locations that are in your advantage. There, Locke finds a GT Big. Amarth just finds a tavern.
She's not mirroring to check the light mode version of that?
She had already... Yeah,
Sorry,
that's the Spectacle Rock top. I don't believe Locke knows that. Amarth had bombs in order to bomb jump that at the time, whereas Locke did not. This might get Amarth a sword if she sets up the fake flippers here.
Yep, she's about to get her first sword at 1 hour and 35 minutes.
Alright, Amarth is fluting to 1. Is this going to be GT left?
Not yet. She's got to go there through Floating Island connector. Because she cannot get to Dark World from here on the mountain.
Oh yeah, it was in the Dark World.
Yeah, unfortunately, until you have mitts, you can't use the portals on the Eastern Death Mountain. I think she's gonna clear Skullwoods. So this will actually tie them up in Crystal. Well, actually, no, Locke's about to this fourth. This race could still go either way. There's still enough stuff pending. Oop, that bunny beamed. So what's Locke's plan? Up the mountain. Heading to Eastern Death Mountain. I believe there's a dungeon over here. Paradox Bottom. He's going into desert. He's gonna check the big chest of desert. Oh! Ah, okay, she had a fairy. I think she was trying to use the blue potion, but not quite in time, but she does have the fairy, so she stays alive. Now, Locke finds an Ice Palace Small, which is locked behind 6 pod smalls, so... well, That might mean some Mars needed to beat Ice. But Amarth has her third crystal. Locke is coming out in Village of Outcasts. I'm gonna go back into Hyrule Castle. Might just take this connector. So put him at Dark World 5, so he might go... He's probably gonna check Kiki and check the pod entrance. Answer quick question, chat. Yes, the Desert Small is in Harmless Hellway, which means it's also locked behind 6 pod smalls. Oh, we're gonna get the Meyer entrance check. And just a shop. But I think she can also check Checkerboard Cave. What do we got at Checkerboard Cave? Nothing. You know, I think Locke's heading back to GT. He might be thinking GT climb. He's heading towards the floating island connector. You know, Mars can give us another entrance check. It's a connector. This might take us... I wonder if this will take us up to Bumper Ledge. And Locke's making the climb. Oh, never mind. Useless connector. Alright, this is kind of a big moment. Locke is gonna climb GT. 6 items here. 4 at the top of the GT, 2 at the Uncle in the Ganon hole. And there's not a lot of spots left right now. So it's very likely we're gonna see something. So Locke is climbing, he's going to enter the gauntlet. I think Amarth is also heading towards GT. Locke down to half art, it's going to take the safety room. Going to catch a fairy for safety and refills magic. Oh yeah, I should say, for this prediction we're talking about, I should have said a trackable item. Actually, no, I think a unique item's better. Basically, do they find an item in their inventory? Because there's 6 chests here between the top and the Uncle Hole, as Amarth finds the pod big. Also finds that ice rod. I remember, Marth's going to be able to check the GT big chest that Locke could not check. Thinking through it, I think the worst thing, or the best thing for Amarth, the worst thing for Locke, would be if Samaria ended up in that chest. I hope I didn't just curse somebody. No Samaria, Locke has to do these rooms a little differently. I'm trying not to curse. I didn't think about it until after I said it. I'm sorry. Although there's also the small 2 swamp and the very small to castle. Actually, that'll be the more second small to castle, so I think she's got them both now. So the castle tower smalls will not be our hang-up, but we're about to start seeing some items. Let's see what's up here. There's a heart container. That is a unique item, a red boomerang. There's a piece of heart. Locke's taking on Moldorm 2 and falls. Alright, here comes that big chest. What is in this big chest? A key to pod. Well, that's our 5th pod small. But not the worst thing for Locke to miss. Oh, and Locke unfortunately poked the Moldorm. He's gonna have to get one hit. And Moldorm's down. And up here we've got a tempered sword. Well, that's a nice find, but it's still not what you're hoping for up here. Mara's gonna get her second sword. And Amarth's also gonna climb. So whatever's up here, both runners are gonna use the exact, or pretty much the same amount of time. So this is gonna really play to anybody's advantage, per se. The Locke has to be careful, he's down to a heart. Okay. Agatu is down. I think Locke did have a fairy. Alright, this will open the Ganon hole to see Uncle. What is going to be down here? Are we going to see something that's going to make this worth it? Alright, first item is Burna. Wrong cane. The other item is a small key to Skull Woods. Unfortunately, this climb didn't really... I mean, the Tempered Sword's nice, but that's not what you wanted. But that does make it more likely that Pyramid Fairy's available. Or the Pyramid Fairy entrance is available. And we're up to 5 pot smalls, so it's becoming more likely that glove that Marth found is the intended first glove. Locke is heading towards... I think this is... Oh no, he's gonna go check Bombo's tablet. Which we know is a lonely arrow. What is Locke's next plan? As Amarth is taking on Land Mode 2 with a Fire Rod. Little bit of trouble. These land molas are not being friendly. These are some pretty bad short hops. Locke is heading towards Saha's hut, which is a connector. No, he's heading... You know, he's got to go to the Eastern Palace entrance this way. He's going to go back up to Flowing Island. Is Locke going to... I hope Locke's not going to... I wonder if Locke's going to go back through GT to check the big chest. Might be what he's planning. I can't think of anything else that's up here. Oh yeah, good point. There are a couple entrances he hasn't seen yet. Yeah, okay, that's what it looks like he's doing. Spiral Cave entrance we haven't seen. Ooh, Waterfall Ferry. For a minor small and 300 rupees.
I have returned. I believe that we did see that on Amarth's side. The Meyer Small and 300. But either way, it doesn't end up being useful for Locke.
Yeah, it's looking more and more likely that glove in desert might be our intended first glove.
Mm-hmm.
If it is, where's the 6th pod small? Doesn't even really matter at this point.
Yeah, not a whole lot left in the world that we haven't done. I believe in terms of glove checks, Amarth hasn't done Catfish yet, and that could be useful. Here we see Locke doing the Vanilla Meyer entrance with that Quake medallion that was obtained earlier.
I believe it was just a shop.
Yep, no dice there.
If that desert glove is intended to be the first glove, Black's kind of isolated a couple of those big keys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I imagine it's pretty difficult to justify going back into Palace of Darkness now if you are Locke.
Yeah, that'd be a tough call. We're still looking for 2 dungeons. We still haven't seen Castle Tower or Ice Palace.
Mm-hmm.
We're still kind of at a point like Boots would open quite a bit, Flippers would open some stuff, some Mario would open stuff. I think Locke finally realized he has the Turtle Rock Pig.
Ah, yep.
This will get him one of his pod smalls.
That's true. This might actually be the thing that reminds Locke that pod exists, and to do some more of that.
I mean, I think this would give him 2 small keys to go back into pod with, which would be enough to check the 2 chests he hasn't seen yet. Meanwhile, Marth gets the bad news, and she's veering back to Light World.
Yep, we'll see where Marth decides to go next. Go into the Dark World.
She got that pod big. I think she's gonna go back in the pod and finish that. Which, if she does, will even up the crystal count between the runners.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at this point, Marth might have the advantage.
Yeah, that glove... Having found that glove as early as Amarth did, and having already checked most of the glove-restricted areas, is proving to pretty useful for Amarth here, because once Locke finally gets his hands on those gloves, then he's going to have to run all the way around Hyrule without the boots and follow up on them again.
This is the new check as well. We have not seen this chest. And it's just 20 rupees.
Nothing.
Locke, where is he going? Locke's going back? I think Locke's going back to GT.
Locke's going back to GT. Ooh.
This is going to be a long walk to get to the GT big chest.
Yep, and this is going to be quite a setback for Locke. We'll get another reminder about Palace of Darkness, though, at the end of it.
Yeah, it's looking more and more likely Desert's the answer. Whether it's just that small key or if there's something behind Land Molas. Which we haven't actually seen the
We haven't seen the
yet.
back, yeah. Did we see the big chest check on Locke's side?
In Desert, yeah, we did.
Okay. So, unfortunately, it's the small key, but not the big key to Desert that is paying off so far. But there, Amarth gets the big key to Desert.
It's looking more and more likely that, like I said, either that glove in Desert's the first intended glove, or there's something at Pyramid Fairy. And considering how many locations we're down to at this point, there's a good chance that Pyramid Fairy has a dungeon we need. Yeah, we don't have a lot of entrances left. I'm trying to think. We've got, I guess we've got King's Tomb. We've got the Boots entrances.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Hammer Pegs, but those are midslocked.
Yep, we also have the Vanilla Ice Palace entrance, which is also midslocked.
The
We
Rock
have...
entrance, which is Ether and midslocked.
Yep.
Technically the GT entrance, which is 7 crystal locked, though that could be where the desert boss is.
Mm-hmm. Did we see the Vanilla Checkerboard Cave entrance from Amarth's side?
I think so. I don't think it was anything, though.
Okay.
Actually, one thing to consider, and this is still a possibility, Agate Tower could be a Ganon's Tower.
That would be very spicy. But it absolutely could.
Here's the Helma fight for Amarth. think Locke is heading back to pod as well.
This is the play that Locke needs to make, but I imagine that Locke is going to follow up on these glove checks after picking up the glove, and we know from Amarth's side with the potential exception of Catfish, the glove checks don't really yield that much.
Yeah, I think we had a question about where the bomb shop is. It's at the Dark Chapel, which, yeah, that's going to be a very long walk. It's going to be better to just flute to 5 and Miriam Light World, flute to 5 and walk from there.
Yeah. Which both runners will be able to do because Locke is, well, Amarth is going to be able to do it. Locke will be on the path to doing it once he picks up the Desert Small.
Yeah, we're tied on crystals now. 4 crystals apiece, and Amarth has the glove advantage. Amarth's going to check the desert big chest, which we saw on Locke's side. It's nothing.
Catfish is looking more and more likely. Pyramid Fairy is looking more and more likely.
We've just passed the 2-hour mark in this race. I mean, I think it's time to just take a little bit of stock of what we still need. We still need the boots. We need the flippers. We need Samaria. Actually, key-wise, we're in good shape. I don't think we need any more keys.
We need to actually pick up the Thief Sound big key, but... Oh, no, we don't, because Thief Sound's a pendant. Never mind. Anyway, here Amarth is going through Fairy Ascension Cave. I think this is the one that leads to the Dark World Witch's Hut, and this will put Amarth in the vicinity of Catfish. So I think we're getting this check next. But yeah, Red Cane...
Yeah, I think Red Cane, boots, and flippers. I think that's all we need.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we gotta find some of our dungeons.
that too, yes, we do need to find 2 dungeons. There's the glove for Locke.
Alright. So we'll see where Locke decides to go with this glove.
Alright, this catfish payoff. Oh, he's going right into Spike Cave, which will get him the 4th GT small.
Yep. Putting that climb in logic. Locke takes a death here, but has a fairy, so that's fine. Catfish just with 10 arrows. So... Pyramid Fairy?
It looks like Pyramid Fairy's gotta have something.
Oh, brutal seed. Alright, does Amarth realize it?
She's near the big bomb shop. She's got the hook shot out.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think we're gonna be getting ourselves a Pyramid Fairy check. So yeah, I predict that this is going to lead to one of our outstanding dungeons.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Most likely Ice Palace, in which case you have all the tools that you need to do Ice Palace, even though you don't have the red cane to make it faster.
And as you said, Locke is going to start checking some of these overworld spots. Actually not sure which way is faster, if it's better to go to the 4 portal or the 5 portal. I feel like in this case the 5 portal might be slightly faster, but I'm not sure.
I believe that's correct. The 5 port is faster. Just because you don't have to do an additional set of screens to warp into the Dark World here. But the runners are so used to doing 4 that, well, it's the one that you know.
Locke is back in Kakariko.
Alright. Moment of truth. What is this Pyramid Fairy entrance going to be? Absolutely nothing?
Okay.
That's not Ice Palace.
Huh. Okay, let's start thinking here.
Alright, where do we go from here? Amarth has an idea. I don't.
We haven't. There's some connectors we haven't gotten through, but we can't get through them yet.
Okay, have we seen the connector that leads to Vanilla Bumper Cave Top?
We have not.
Okay. So that one is outstanding. Not sure what possible options we have that could lead there. We know that we haven't found the Turtle Rock main entrance yet, so it's likely that that is our connector that's in that area.
I feel like there's a dark cave we haven't been through. Like I'm looking through my notes. I think Locke saw the Diagonal Holes cave. I don't think we went through that one.
I believe that one. Well, that was either in Kakariko or Village of Outcasts, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
I'm not sure. It's been so long. Oh, we haven't seen this cave. We haven't seen either side of this.
Ah, that's true. That is a glove location that Amarth has not checked yet. Amarth gets the compass to Hera.
There's Ice Palace.
Alright, it was indeed a glove lock location. So, despite having had the gloves so much earlier in the seed than Locke did, it is Locke who finds the dungeon first. So, Ice Palace, we can clear all 8 items. They are in logic. Beat the boss. What is it going to yield?
First chest is bombs.
Yep.
Now, here's hoping the runners remember. I'm sure these runners still know their Ice Palace bomb jump. And yeah, we have that shovel sitting on the library. That's boots locked.
Yep, Amarth about to get that bad news.
We're gonna get a pad check from Marth, which we already saw on Locke's side.
Yeah, we saw that 4 minutes in on Locke's side.
I feel like we're gonna at least see one of the 3 go mode items here. One of these. We're gonna see Flippers, Boots, or Samaria here. We have to.
Yeah. Just because there are so many entrances that we haven't seen yet, I'm leaning towards Boots at this point.
It's not a bad call. Yeah.
It opens up the most entrance-wise, even though, like, Red Cane was the one that I predicted so much earlier.
Now Marth might be heading to the same area that Locke is. If Amarth heads towards the Death Mountain climb, this could be a pretty close race.
Yep. Yep, it looks like that's what is indeed happening here, and Amarth is going to be right on Locke's heel right now. So depending on what they find in Ice Palace, there could be a wide variety of options and plenty of opportunity for route divergence after this.
First 3 chests, nothing in here. Still 5 to go, though.
All right, compass to Turtle Rock. 4 down, 4 to go. We have both runners. They were doing a lot of similar routing early on and did a lot of trading places towards the middle of the seed, and it is now converged on Ice Palace with Locke maybe a minute and a half ahead of Amarth at this point. Both in the same dungeon looking for the next set of progression items. Here comes check number 5, Ice Tea Room. It's just bombs.
Three more checks.
Ooh, Amarth.
Does have to be. Ooh, Locke does have to be a little careful. His health's a bit low. He's about to bomb jump.
Mm-hmm.
Check 6. There's 2 checks left.
2 left.
I don't know where else we gotta check if it's not here.
Oh my gosh. Is it on Cold Stare?
I think technically that's. I don't remember the second Ice Palace key is, but I felt like the second Ice Palace key was Samaria locked, or not Samaria locked, but it was this dungeon completable was supposed to be Samaria locked because of where the second Ice key was.
I know the first one was in Meyer. Where was the second one?
I don't remember now.
Oh.
Was that in GT maybe, or?
It might have been the top of GT. But if it is the top of GT, then it's still in Logic.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. It's behind a lot of small keys. I feel like it's behind the Pod 6. But that's nice. Right for Locke. What's on Cold Stare? Nothing.
50 rupees. Wow, so we get a crystal out of this, but once again, we are back to square one, and runners and commentators alike are thinking, what is missing? What have the runners not done? Where in the world should we go? Now granted, Locke had found Ice Palace a little bit earlier when checking glove-locked locations than Amarth did, so Locke still has a number of rocks to lift up and other places to go. But Locke is going to make the Pyramid Fairy check right now.
Like I said, I feel like we've seen the one connector we haven't gone through. I feel like that diagonal holes connector.
And that could very easily lead to the Light World Bumper Cave North Vanilla entrance.
Which would basically give us access to 2 entrances. Well, actually, no, it'll give us another entrance beyond that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, and a heart container, which is nice. Yeah, we'll see if Locke routes in Catfish after this.
I imagine he will. The other place it could lead to is the bridge into the outside bridge of Turtle Rock, basically, which would give us access to at least a couple more checks. That's not that's not the place we haven't found yet.
Yeah. So that would get us Mimic Cave, as well as whatever the left entrance of Turtle Rock is.
There is another possibility once we find Samaria, and that is the TR front entrance.
which we know is a connector. Yeah, not only is it 2 hours with no boots, but it's 2 hours where you know, and you've known for a long time, that boots are required to finish the seed. And like, maybe that is the answer. Maybe you have to find boots somewhere, and that is going to open up all the rest of the entrances you need.
I'm looking to see what we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen Agina. We haven't seen Blindside. I mean, these are in terms of item possibilities, like locations. So there's at least one big item spot out there in Blindside. We have not seen that yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think Block was going to that portal and then mirrored it. He might have just remembered something. I don't believe Amarth has done Zora item yet. I think Amarth might be... This is a bad sign. Amarth is paused.
Amarth is pausing. Yeah, I think you were really expecting to find it there. Checking the menu. What in the world remains in this game to be done?
I suppose you could sequence break and get that Thieves Town big, but that doesn't really help because you need to find the flippers, guaranteed.
That'd be a spicy sequence break. Back of Desert Palace would be great if we knew where that was.
Yeah, I think Amarth's as stumped as we are.
Mm-hmm.
I said there's that one connector I can think of. That diagonal holes connector that I'm pretty sure Locke found at some point.
Yeah. Hey, it's not... If there's any solace that the runners can make watching this back, wondering how this seed is gone, I think everyone here is stumped.
Yeah, chat's stumped, comms are stumped, I think our trackers are stumped.
Yep.
We're all stumped right now.
Everyone is puzzled here.
For anybody wondering, I did check the race room. Nobody is forfeit. The race is still going on. I think Marth just thought of something.
Alright, we have a flute. Marth is fluting to 3. Is there a connector here? There's...
We've seen this connector.
Mm-hmm. This one goes to Sahasrala's hut.
I think Locke's now going back through... Locke's is stumped.
Yeah, I think that was a check. What did I forget to... What did I miss? Did I actually check this? I thought I did. There, Locke goes in the old man back entrance. Alright. Amarth might be taking the time now just to verify the connectors that she knows about. Wondering if she mistracked something. Alright, this is the one that you were thinking of, JP.
Yeah, maybe... Okay. Maybe we have seen this one then. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not sure either way. I think you might be right. I hope you might be right.
Oh yeah!
Hey, this is it. Okay, so now we need to find something useful over here on Light World Death Mountain Descent exit,
That's
Aga
useful.
Tower.
There's 2 items. You'll take it.
All right, that was indeed the line. Good job remembering that one.
There's flippers.
Flippers. So that opens up Swamp Palace.
So Locke needs to get back to that cave.
Yep. That is the one thing remaining in this wide world of Carmen Sandiego to do. And to be fair, at least this time you knew you had to do Aghanim anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Locke's rechecking his entrances.
Checking entrances. Did I mistrack something? Did I mismark something? It's not a good feeling, and I definitely understand the frustration there. But he is in the vicinity of where he needs to go. Alright, Locke is going north. He's on the screen. Is he gonna go into the house? No, he flutes away! Checking something else instead. In the meantime, hey, Amartha's about to challenge Aghanim.
I wasn't thinking about it. I should have put up a blue ball projection, unfortunately. Too late for that.
Alright.
I guess chat anyway.
Alright. I'm gonna say 1 blue ball. These runners have suffered enough. 15? Oh. Say it ain't so.
It's not.
Alright, there's our 1. Hopefully that'll be the only one.
Anyway, this is not a good feeling on Locke's side. He is just rechecking entrances. Unfortunately, he was right by the entrance he needed to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's going back there. But the wrong way.
Alright, Aghanim goes down. So we have the flippers. That puts Swamp Palace in logic. We know where the glove was. The glove was behind 6 pod keys as well as the desert small. But we only have 5 pod keys and that were shared among both runners. So I would imagine that we're going to see a pod key out of Swamp Palace here.
We also do have the Thieves Town big on Lake Hylia Island that could lead to something in Thieves Town.
Yep, that's true. So could grab that and find something in Thieves Town instead. And since we already have both the hammer and small key, Thieves Town would be completable, though it would also be a pendant. I imagine that both runners at this point know that big key that is sitting there on Lake Hylia Island is the big key to Thieves Town, and are thus ignoring it for that reason. Well, Amarth is ignoring it for that reason.
Amarth is booking it to Swamp right now. As fast as you can book it when you don't have boots. Alright, Locke's back at 3 and going the wrong way.
Alright. Locke's doing what he does need to do, though, following the connectors. That's the right idea. In the meantime, let's see what Swamp Palace has for us. Number 1, just bombs. Getting us set up for check number 2.
It's frustrating on our end to watch him keep walking by this. Wait. Did he remember?
There's that pod small. There's the one that I said was going to be in Swamp Palace, and here it is. Alright, Locke is on the right track. This is going to set him on the right path again. So, the big think moment definitely ended up in Amarth's favor, but Locke is certainly not out of it yet.
Yeah, Locke just needs to... Basically, right now, if you're Locke, you need to hope that both of these... Well, I mean, he doesn't know it yet, but he needs to hope that both of the go mode items are not in the swamp. But you want at least one in here that could potentially buy you time. So if you're a Marth, you want both items in here.
Mm-hmm. So, knowing that has gone on for 2 hours and 24 minutes, and you've had a big think moment, if you're a Marth, do you skip left side?
I don't think you're looking for 2 items and you don't really have much else to do.
Exactly. But you do also have Pendant Thieves Town for another 4 items. There's silvers.
Okay.
The progression item that we didn't need.
4th bottle.
Alright, Amarth is skipping left side, going to take the chance that those 2 do not contain the items that we're looking for. So this is another potential opening for Locke to make a comeback. If we find the boots on left side swamp, for example, or the red cane.
No diver down here. That might be part of the reason why Marth didn't do left side. She doesn't have red cane. The bomb setup can be a bit trickier, though once you know it, I've heard it's easier. I use a Meyer small.
Yeah, that doesn't put anything into logic that we care about, I don't believe.
Technically it puts left side Meyer into logic, but we already saw that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh.
Are we looking at another nothing situation here?
Yeah, I would imagine that if Amarth comes up completely empty-handed, she's going to go right back in and check left side.
Yeah, exactly. But if she finds something, she might leave left side alone.
Also, in the meantime, did I call my shot right? Was it actually a 1 blue ball Aga?
I feel like there was at least a second. And Argus is not playing nice, but there's the arrow into the eyeball.
Just
Nothing.
bombs.
So it's either left side swamp or Thieves Town.
Alright, Locke takes down Aghanim. I imagine is going to follow suit into Swamp Palace right away. And Amarth does go back inside. And I absolutely agree with this play.
Yeah, you have so few locations right now, you have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're these runners in this situation, finding Samaria before Boots might be better. I'm trying to think what would be absolutely better in this case.
I think that would be better as well. Boots opens up additional entrances, and we know that one of those entrances has a Blind's Hideout, I believe, which has 5 checks available. But not going all the way around the overworld seems preferable. So, all right, Locke went through the connector, is now in Swamp Palace as well. So, once again, these runners are in the same dungeon. They've had such similar routing at the beginning, similar routing in a slightly different order in the middle. Both ended up getting stuck. Everyone ended up getting stuck, and we're now converged once again, and going to see if we can make sense of what's left and finish this seed. But Amarth is going to be the first one to left side swamp. We'll see if Locke ends up making the same decision to skip it. Which at this point, I honestly, like... You look at the time, you look at the racetime.gg window, see the opponent hasn't finished yet, and... You know, you take your chance. I can understand it either way.
Alright, what we got? We've got 20 rupees. Getting the mirror out for to get ready. A small key to...
Wow. Alright, I guess we're going into Thieves Town.
I think so.
So, once again, the flippers that were found in Aghanim's Tower, which was an absolute last location from both runners, those flippers lead to Lake Hylia Island, which has a big key. Both runners at this point have enough information to have already determined what that big key is. That is the big key to Thieves Town, which is a pendant. But now that Amarth has seen that Swamp Palace is basically empty, we're gonna have to go through and find what we're missing in Thieves Town.
Yep.
And we're gonna have to walk all the way there.
Well, Thieves Town's not too far from the big key, at least.
True. But there's a lot of walking this seed. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, Locke's gonna save a little bit of time in here because he's gonna do the bomb diver down.
That is true. That helps Locke come back a bit.
Assuming he can get it. There he goes.
Alright. Amarth, the first one to be heading back to Thieves Town. Amarth was here much earlier than Locke was, in the initial discovery phase of the Cross Key seed. Found that lamp early, which was a nice advantage. Would have been nicer if Amarth would have taken it to find Aga Towers just slightly sooner. But nonetheless, Amarth is the first one back here, and we'll see what other secrets Thieves Town has lying within.
Oh, here's the big question now. You find either Boots or Samaria back here. Let's say you find it in the attic. Do you leave immediately? Or do you keep looking?
Oh man, at this point I feel you have to keep looking, right?
It's such a tough call, because, I mean, Samaria... It gives you the rest of the items in Turtle Rock, plus one on Vidi.
Mm-hmm.
Boots would give you more entrances. It's a tough call either way.
It's definitely a gamble either way. The other thing is, this dungeon is so slow to go through if you don't have boots. And the attic is the slowest part of it. Alright, first chest. Just a heart piece.
thing is, there's still opportunities for diversions in this seed, depending on what they find.
Mm-hmm.
Mitts could still come into play and just mess this all up.
Oh my gosh, the mitts would be the absolute worst case scenario, because then once again you gotta walk everywhere and check the mitts lock stuff.
Chet brings us that shovel up that's sitting on the library. If we find the boots first.
True, that shovel is in the most awful spot on the library in the back of Skullwoods.
There's the third shield. I think we saw the second at some point.
Yep, that shield not helping us. Locke is on Argus now, about to get the bad news that, hey, it's not in Swamp Palace somehow.
Oh my god.
Oh my. That's vanilla Titan's mitts. Vanilla Titan's mitts, which opens up so much more for Marith and for these runners.
It doesn't open that much more, but like it opens Ice Palace. A Turtle Rock's not open yet because we don't have Ether.
Right. Ice Palace entrance, Hammer Peg's entrance, and
Myth and the Purple Chest are now in Logic.
yeah. Alright, I think Locke is also on the path, gonna pick up the big key to Thieves Town and head here as well. But are we gonna have one of our items on blind at least?
No.
Sure aren't. Okay, so progression was our Titan's mitts. Where is that gonna lead us?
I don't know. What do you check? I think you might check Ice Palace entrance first, just because you know Blindsid's still pending at least.
Yeah.
And it's right there, I guess, too.
Did we even see the Smiths? I imagine that we did, but I don't recall exactly where they were.
I don't either. Actually, I don't think we've seen the Smiths. They might have to be at a boot spot.
Smiths are in Kakariko. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that there are like logical restrictions about the Smiths that prevent them from being in the places too much. Okay, Blindside. We got 5 items here. Surely we're gonna find progression here, right?
I hope so. There's a gold sword.
Oh my goodness. Nope. Surely not. All right, so 1 sword upgrade, 1 boomerang, and 20 pointy 6 later with a peach to go. Amarth is going to check the rest of the mitts locked places.
Yeah, Descent in the Madness is about right, chat.
Yeah, this is... There are a lot of things that can be described as maddening. I think if you look up maddening in the dictionary, this seed is going to be at the... framed at the very top.
We do want to mention that in the first race I think at Cross Keys Week, I mean, Locke did have a sub 2 in his Cross Keys Week, but his teammate barely went sub 3. I should add that they both won their both members of Elf won their Cross Keys Week.
Yeah, I'd be happy with a sub 4 this seed. This is brutal. Alright, Amarth is taking our friend Jeremiah back. Gonna be an item here.
Yeah, I wonder, we might be down again to last spots. Not
10
there.
arrows.
We've
All
got
right.
hammer pegs. We've got the purple chest. Locke could make up a little bit of time if he bails when he gets the Mets.
Mm-hmm. And there are a couple entrances that we could potentially find in hammer pegs that could still lead to items. So it does make sense for Amarth to do this check now while she is here.
I pulled the mirror out but didn't use it.
All right, this is one of them.
Nope.
So, is this actual last location again?
It might be.
Actual last location, purple chest.
Just don't be Ether.
Behind so many other things that were the absolute last resort for these runners. And I imagine Locke might not do... Locke does save a little bit of time there because we know that we don't need the pendant. I imagine Locke is going to take a similar path, and there's a red cane!
Okay, that lets you beat Meyer, and that also lets you finish Turtle Rock.
So, this becomes an interesting dilemma once again, because Meyer's a thing that you have that's a crystal. They're gonna have to do that one either way. The best case scenario for Amarth, if you do Meyer first, which it looks like she's going to do, is that the boots are just going to be on Vitreous and you're done. The other, more dense location is Turtle Rock at this point, because you haven't seen the front, and you haven't seen what is on Trinex. Also, I believe that Trinex was the green pendant, so that puts Sahasrara in the mix as well.
Yep. I believe there's essentially five items pending behind Turtle Rock. 3 in the front, 1 on Trinex, and 1 from the green pendant turn-in.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing that red cane does is it gives us right side Ganon's Tower for another 5 items. So...
Oh, you're right. Right side GT is also available.
Yep, there's still a lot of opportunities for route divergence, and yet we know exactly one of these paths is going to be the right one.
And the thing is, this is going to be the 7th crystal. The GT entrance can still lead to something that could lead to boots.
That
you have not
true.
seen the Black Desert yet, at a minimum.
Oh my gosh. Alright, so Locke is checking Smith Chain now. If Locke follows this up and does Purple Chest, that is going to put Locke on the path to progression slightly earlier than it was for Amarth, because Locke has not found Blind's Hut yet in the Vanilla Ice Palace entrance.
The Locke found Blind's Hut.
Oh, never mind, I missed that then.
Silver arrows will make Fitty fast. Yeah, if you're a Marth, you're just begging for it to be here.
Yep. And there it is. Okay.
The seed finally shows some mercy.
Alright. So, with that, after this long, absolutely ridiculous progression of events, Amarth is finally in go mode, and also has collected that last crystal, so all we gotta do now is drop in to see Ganon.
Yep, and it's going to be a pretty easy Ganon fight with gold sword and silver arrows.
After finding the boots there, I don't know. I guess you can't feel too bad about having missed boots for such a long time, but at the same time, it's 2 hours 43, and I'm sure both runners at this point, nerves are very high, tension is very high. This has not been a kind seed, but it has been a very, very entertaining race. Alright, 6 stashes with our butter sword.
Yep, already into phase 3.
Locke, in the meantime, with that cane, is going to head towards Misery Mire, so this will put Locke on the path that he needs to be. After all is said and done, these runners are still going to finish very, very close to each other. And with that, the 4th silver arrow in Ganon's back. Everyone, get your GGs in chat for Amarith. And Amarith does take first in this seed with a race time GG time of 2 hours, 45 minutes, and 52 seconds. Oh, 23 seconds. 23 seconds, I'm sorry.
That'll put Zelda and Chill up 2-0 in this series. And Elf is on the brink of elimination. They do have their 3rd game to play, which will be between Phyleon and Oro, I believe.
Yep,
I
Phyleon and Oro.
Scheduled.
And with that, we also see the forfeit from Locke. I can totally understand not wanting to finish this one out, but can take some solace that Locke would not have been far behind. And huge congratulations to Locke, huge congratulations to Amarith on working their way through an extremely difficult and what I'm sure is a very frustrating experience. But we are joined now by Amarith. GG!
Oh my goodness, that was silly.
That was quite an adventure. So I'd ask how you feel about it, but I have some ideas.
Well, there was a moment in there where I forgot the Light World fortune teller connector that was there, and I was like, oh no, I've forgotten something very important.
Yeah, it turns out both of you had forgotten that connector, which turned out to be something. You actually had the lamp a lot earlier than Locke did from finding Thieves Town in Vanilla Mini Moldorm Cave entrance a little bit faster. But it got to the point where both of you ended up doing a big think, figuring out where progression was after that.
Yeah, because I was looking at my tracker, my notes. I was like, oh my god, so I've missed something. I've mismarked something. This is terrible. I've missed obviously a boots or mitt somewhere. Just everything has gone sideways, and I am totally lost.
And we are joined by Locke as well. GG Locke. What a frustrating seed. Seed very bad. So yeah, like I said, it got to the point where the two of you were figuring out what you had missed and what was there, and it wasn't just the two of you. You can take solace in that. JP and I were figuring out, scratching our heads what was missing. Everyone in chat was also absolutely flabbergasted by this seed, figuring out what that last remaining ingredient was. And turns out both of you had missed the same Light World Fortune Teller connector leading to Aga Tower. So it ended up being the same place.
I'm more mad about the gloves. I didn't get my gloves about 2 hours in.
Yeah.
That's the worst part to me. The missing connector, whatever, I do it all the time. The gloves that, if I had just done Meyer before Pod, I would have had him then, but I didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or, not killed Helma.
Yeah, that ended up being another, interesting moment of divergence in the seed. Amarth had one more pod key than you did before jumping into pod, and so Amarth was able to check the Harmless Hellway chest, which had the Desert Palace small key, and Desert Palace small key was what led to the glove, of course. However, Amarth did not have the pod big key on her first dip into the dungeon, whereas you did, and Locke, you found the Desert Palace big key in the big chest of Palace of Darkness. So there were 2 required keys. The only 2 keys in Desert Palace were both locked behind 6 pod small keys, and one of them ended up leading to a glove, which was progression, and the other ended up leading towards pretty much nothing.
I was gonna say nothing. The entire first hour of the seed, I got nothing. So much stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's do this. Nothing. Do this. Nothing. Do this. Nothing. Where's the stuff? Where's all my stuff?
The only thing that felt good was okay, we're burning through connectors like nobody's business here.
I think my first actual bomb or weapons was from Skull Woods and Spike Cave entrance. That was 15 minutes in. Because I was at connectors. I got a mirror to do everything.
Mm-hmm. I also gotta say, Locke, congratulations on the Ice Armos fight that you had. So
Dope.
Locke, when he found Ganon's Tower, it was when he had already had the hammer and hookshot. Well, actually, you'd scouted it before, but you came back once you had the hammer and hookshot pretty early on, and that ended up becoming a hammer Ice Armos fight with some assistance from the ice rod that was found in Ganon's Tower at the very end, and that led to what ended up being Locke's first sword.
The stupid first sword.
That was an absolutely scary fight, and we were on pins and needles watching it, so congratulations on pulling that off. That is not something that a lot of runners will be able to do.
I think if you go back in the VOD for probably an hour in the seed, total, I was nearly dead. I had heart beeps for so long, I was nearly dead almost constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Just beginning of the seed, end of the seed, middle of the seed, just constantly nearly dead. And I'm like, this is my life. This is how I'm living it right now.
I too like to live dangerously. I believe that was also the first in logic sword too, because the other one that you got that was pretty early on was
Not in logic anywhere near. Well,
yeah,
no.
that was.
No, that would have been your first sword.
That's true.
The
That
one-
could have been the first.
Yeah, no,
would've-
the one on Lake Hylia was gonna be your first one because you get the lamp
Castle towers were
from Thieves
available.
Town. Yeah,
Mhm.
that should have been your first actual sword. The other ones we found nowhere near.
Yeah, that was an interesting tempered sword location.
Was
at
happy
the
to see
top
that
of
tempered,
GT.
yeah.
The one time the GT climb didn't give me anything besides a sword. I didn't want a sword there. I wanted something else.
It was such a-
boots.
It was such a red
Exactly.
herring too, because the 4 GT smalls were available so early, and you got the GT big from Eastern Palace.
It's not even that. I had all the weapons and stuff. Hookshot, bow, fire rod. I'll climb with one small. Mini Helmer rooms in logic. I'll just do it for that. I don't care. But it had nothing. Uncle had a blue cane. He was close.
He almost had it, just wrong color.
Almost.
Typical Link's uncle, just trying his best. Next time, he should bring the other walking stick.
Yeah. I was so prepared at the end of that seed too. Like once Kane finally showed up, I was like, all right, let's go kill Vedi. If boots don't show up, we're going to GT. We're gonna do right side. We'll do tile room into compass, and then if that don't show up, we're gonna go kill Isoarmus again and do shake storage.
Hmm.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
go check the GT entrance at that point.
Yeah, we were
Let's see what's in there.
speculating about Trinex as well, and the front of Thieves Town. Yeah, it was interesting because there were a lot of other potential spots where those boots could have been, and a lot of potential route divergence that could have still happened at the end because, like, Locke, you were absolutely on the path at the very end, and there was enough time where I think that a little bit of route divergence could have potentially
it
made it.
absolutely could have.
Yeah, a very close thing. But the seed decided to finally give you a bit of mercy and have boots on Vitreous in the end. Yeah. So I will also say that the middle of the game was very interesting because each of the two of you kind of followed the same route at the beginning. Amarth was a bit earlier to Moon Pearl than Locke was, but then when it got towards about the middle of the seed, Locke was checking out the Village of Outcasts area and Skull Woods sooner, and it got to the point where Locke was in Skull Woods and Amarth was in Tower of Hera, and then the two of them flip-flopped. And then it got to the point where Amarth was in Misery Mire and Locke was in Pod, and then they flip-flopped again.
Yeah, that was the important flip-flop right there, was because there was a pod small in that pod.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, if I had done Mire first, I would have had the gloves way sooner. Would have made life so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, I get to walk through the connectors all the time. I've walked up to Super Bunny at least 5 times the seed.
Oh yeah, that was just terrible.
So many Super Bunny paths, and I didn't have the glove to go through the rock, so I had to go around every single time.
Yeah, it's absolutely understandable that you check the glove lock locations. Amarth was kind of able to do that on her way routing through the remaining overworld checks that she just hadn't gotten around to yet, but it's unfortunate to find the glove as such a last-ditch location, and then you end up looking all across the overworld, and you don't have boots yet, so you're walking, and it was particularly unkind in that regard. And it turns out most of the glove-locked entrances ended up being pretty much bubkiss, because the real solution was to go find Aga Tower and get those flippers.
Yeah.
Just go to Aga Tower. Don't forget your connectors. Easy peasy.
Pretty much.
I think the thing that scared me the most in this seed was that Moon Pearl location, because I got it from Sick Kid and I was like, oh no, I'm having flashbacks. I've had too often where I've mixed up my seeds. Did I screw this up again? I had to like take an extra couple seconds on one of my saving quits and like, okay, double check the hash. I got this right?
That's true. I remember a seed where Moon Pearl was at that location.
Not that long ago.
Not that long ago. But yeah, GG to both of you for finishing out this one. It was an absolute thrill to watch, even though I'm sure it must have been a very stressful, intense experience to play.
Yeah, not so much stressful, just annoying.
I think Fileon has called about 5 team meetings during that race, so you might
Fine.
have some messages from him.
I just told him, like, at this point, if you guys want to just take this last game and, you know, let us free, that's fine. I'll go do a 70-game shuffler and have more fun, you know?
Oh, step it up even farther?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I gotta go dumber, you know? Even dumber.
The series isn't over yet. We got Filia and Oro set to play. Well, we don't know when they're playing exactly.
I believe they
It's
said
23rd.
Monday, right? I don't think it's on
23rd?
the schedule yet because we're waiting to hear back from Filey on a mode, but
Oh, yeah.
dude's on vacation, so hopefully he, I don't know, whatever he's doing on vacation, going out in the sun or something.
Oh, so we don't know.
I don't know what
yet.
people do on vacation these days.
Sleep.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yep. Yeah, GG again. Thanks for running for us. Make sure to give our runners a follow. Put on a pretty good show. They entertained us for quite a while. Also, thanks to our trackers, Artero and Toffel. Thanks to Danny Music for joining me here.
It's a pleasure.
Looking at our schedule for tomorrow, looks like we got one game on the schedule tomorrow between Reliable Archery Aces and Blue Balls United, Retro Redfield versus Matcap. That one not assigned to restream yet, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And then still have some more in the Open League, but the Invitational League also will start back up next week. On Monday, I think we've already got 3 races scheduled for that, so make sure to keep an eye on that as well.